You're still awake at 2 a.m. and your thumb is still moving. One more, you told yourself, 100 headlines ago. Then you landed on this video. You asked yourself, why is doom scrolling so addictive? You already know why. Everyone knows why. Tristan Harris said it best. You're carrying a slot machine in your pocket. Every scroll is a pull, and every pull might pay out. When it does, your brain drops a coin in the tray. Dopamine. He's right about the machine. But that machine was only invented in the 1890s. Whatever your thumb is doing is far older. A forager on some savanna knew it 50,000 years before the first screen. What was she doing that you're still doing? Pay the famous answer what it's owed. In the 1890s, a San Francisco mechanic named Charles Fay built the Liberty Bell. 3 spinning reels, an automatic payout, the first true slot machine. And in 2016, Tristan Harris wrote the essay everyone still quotes. An app holds you the way that machine does. You pull, you might win, and the maybe is what brings your hand back. He's right about the room he's describing. The trouble is the timeline. More than 2 centuries before the first reel spun, a man in London was already living your 2 a.m. September 7th, 1665. London is deep in plague, and Samuel Pepys sends out for the numbers. Every week the city prints the bills of mortality, the dead counted parish by parish, and that night he copies the total into his diary. 8,252 dead in all, and of them 6,978 of the plague, which is a most dreadful number. And the bills were useful. Londoners read them to decide which parishes to avoid, whether to flee the city. Pepys did too, at first. Then he kept checking, week after week, long past the point where the numbers changed anything he did. No screen, no feed, and the checking didn't need either. Deeper than machines, deeper than print. One of the oldest stories humans still tell has a scene of it. In the Odyssey, the one you half know from school, Odysseus's men land among the lotus eaters, and the locals offer the scouts their fruit. Homer is precise about the damage. The men aren't harmed, and nothing holds them there. Whoever eats loses the wish to return home. That's all the fruit takes. One wish. Odysseus has to drag his men back to the ships, and they weep the whole way. What did the lotus take out of them? Homer had no way to name it, but a woman working a stand of fruit, long before him, carried the answer in her hands. 50,000 years back. She's working a stand of fruit. Early on, every reach fills her hand. Then the picking slows, and with no decision she could name, the wish to stay runs out. The wish to leave arrives, and she walks. In 1976, an ecologist named Eric Charnov wrote her rule down. The predator should leave the patch it is presently in when the marginal capture rate in the patch drops to the average capture rate for the habitat. In plain words, when the spot you're in gives back less than moving on would, the urge to leave shows up on its own, and you go. That's the exact wish the lotus erased. Doom scrolling is the same wish. Cheated. Nobody sank a hook into you. Somebody took the ending out. You already own that feeling. The bottom of the chip bag, a season's last episode, an empty inbox, last call at the bar. Every one of those is an ending arriving on time. Now, your phone. Scroll for an hour and it's as full as when you opened it. The first place your kind has ever stood that cannot run out. The wish to leave still works. It's waiting on a running out the feed will never supply. You could file that under bad luck, an old wish meeting the first bag with no bottom. Except this bottom was taken out by hand, and we know the year. Pages used to end. You reached the bottom, and it asked an honest question. Click for more or go to bed. In 2006, a designer named Asa Raskin built Infinite Scroll, more feed pouring in before you can reach the bottom. The science was already on the shelf. 7 years earlier, 2 scientists at Xerox PARC, Peter Paroli and Stuart Card, had shown that people hunt information the way animals hunt food. By his own telling, he wasn't setting a trap. He was smoothing a seam, making the web easier to move through. He has spent years apologizing for it. By his own estimate, Infinite Scroll burns through something like 500,000 human lifetimes every month. That ending was removed, by design, in the plainest sense. So, has anyone ever tried to put an ending back? Once, briefly. On Monday, July 2nd, 2018, Instagram launched a feature called You're All Caught Up. A check mark, a line across the feed. You've seen everything from the past 2 days. For one moment, the oldest wish in the room had an ending again. You may have scrolled past it. The honest catch. An ending only counts if you treat it like one. The only advice worth giving is older than any app. The philosopher John Elster wrote a book on this in 1979. Decide in advance. A choice made now, built to hold you at the hour you'd talk yourself out of it. Her endings arrived on their own, yours won't. Set yours before you open the feed, a time, a place on the screen that caught up line, and keep the decision where 2 a.m. can't renegotiate it. Whether you want to is your call. Her world had a horizon. Yours has a job, a family, reasons for checking that are nobody's business but yours. And some nights the feed is where you need to be. Nothing here says stop, only that stopping was never meant to run on willpower. Every place she ever stood did half the work for her. You're still awake at 2 a.m., and your thumb is still moving. But now you know what it's waiting for. The same moment she got at every stand of fruit. The picking slows, the wish to leave arrives, and you go. Every walk she ever took ended somewhere. A next stand, a camp, a fire, sleep. The feed was built so that moment never comes, which means the only place left that still makes endings is you. Somewhere in you is a forager who has walked away from a lifetime of good places, and she's been ready for hours. Hand her the line the feed will never show. That's everything. You're all caught up.